What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the Knightsman channel. What we have today is tips and tricks before you play Fallout 76. Yes, we've finally unwrapped it. We have jammed it, and we're into April 2020, so we're going to see how the game is going. A little bit of tips and tricks with all the updates with the game as it is right now with the latest updates. So we're going to provide you value with everything that you'll need to help you get set up and going in the new game, and just basically to make it easier on you to apply some of these things, which will definitely make it an easier run and more enjoyable in that fact. So before we kick off though, I'd just like to give a big shout out to one of my mates' boy. He's been like watching all of my reactions, and it's just filling me with joy. So I just want to give a shout out to Fastravet, the man. Keep watching, brother, because I do these videos for people like you who enjoy the content and just love seeing what the next game is or whatnot. So for all those other Knightsmen out there, this is why we do the channel. So a big shout out, thank you, and keep watching. We definitely like you to keep hitting that like button, subscribe button, bell notification, and definitely want to get that chat going in the comments. So cheers, thank you very much. Let's kick on. So before we kick into it, we're just going to have a slight look at some of the glitches that I've come across, which I think are a little bit funny. We've got a bear here that's leaning across, looks like he's spewing up, or he's doing something. Look at him, he's just going hard. So I thought it was quite funny. Now you will come across certain glitches in the game, but take it with a grain of salt. I think it is a lot better now than what it was about a year ago, I think. So it's I just look on the funny side because I do think it's quite funny now. It's not too bad. I've come across maybe 3, 4, 5, but again they haven't affected my gameplay, so I really can't complain about that. So yeah, little couple of glitches to watch out for. Not so much anything to do with tips or tricks, but it's a good way to get the video started. Alrighty, so our first probably huge tip that I can provide you is definitely look out for beds, especially when you're starting off, because it adds to our 5% bonus for experience. So it's definitely going to help you if you're trying to get the platinum trophy and get to that level 100. This is definitely going to help add a little bit of a bonus every time you sleep. However, it only lasts for 2 hours, and if you can, try not to sleep on the floor and try and find a bed like this. So when we get into tips about creating bases in that, you can get beds pretty easily, and that's an awesome way to kind of keep ticking over that experience. So as you can see on the screen here, you can see even though there is a mattress on the floor, I mean, it will still give us that effect, but definitely sleep on there as long as you can until you get the well rested sign, which will be the little man will pop up and it'll be all happy, which we'll see on the screen very shortly. So once that pops up, then we know that he is well rested, and then that bonus will apply. So yeah, there we go, there's our man. It's also a good way to recover health as well, so definitely look at doing that when you're down. Alrighty, now another tip is as soon as you start the game, you'll come across and you'll find that there is a camp here. Now at the very start, I don't know if I missed the tutorial or what's going on, but I thought that was my camp when I first started. I had no idea. I was kind of a little bit confused on everything, even though I played Fallout 4. I was still just a little bit confused, but we're going to get into camp building and stuff like that. But as you can see here, it kind of shows you everything that it's laid out, and I honestly thought it was mine, but it's not. I want to show you in a second here what to do with the camp stuff. So when you're moving the camp, all you need to do is go, as you can see on the map, we're going to show you the best destination where to move your camp. for me anyway. So it's in the middle of the map, and it's for good reason why it's in the middle, because it's a free fast travel point. So if you got it in the middle, at least you know, if you're zigzagging around with the fast travel, it's going to cost you less caps. So all you need to do here is go into your Pip-Boy, press the button which is going to move the camp icon depending what console you're on, and then place it down in an area that's kind of well situated for the camp. And then from there you can start building your camp if you've got enough materials. So definitely if you're looking at building a camp, I would probably leave it until about level, I don't know, past level 5, once you've got a little bit of materials to build up a camp. But don't be afraid of the camp either. Like as you will see relatively soon, like it's pretty easy to build the camps however way you want as well. You can go up, which usually I like to do in this area because we can kind of capture that beautiful view of the camp, and then setting the camp in the right location where it has enough water as well for the water purifiers, which we'll get later on in the game, which provide us purified water, which is perfect for using, for drinking, for selling, whatever you want to do with it. But as you can see, I'm just building up, and yeah, we're going to capture that views. Now another important tip while venturing through Fallout is to blueprint some of your camps, and that's so you can basically put them up, erect them straight away. So as I'm doing here, I'm just going to be holding the X button to blueprint it, and then I'm just blueprinting it all. As you can see, it's turning blue into white. Once it turns white, then that's basically, it will be like blueprinted for that structure. There's a certain amount of structures that you can have. If you can see to the right there, it says blueprint budget, which, so basically if you have a large camp, you can't just blueprint it all. There's like a specified limit on how much you can blueprint. But as you can see on the video here, I'm just going to cross blueprinting all the walls, all the floors, everything, even all like the beds, the workshops, all that sort of stuff, so I can easily just erect it. I think this will only allow me to do the rest of the flooring, because you can see that it will be maxed out, which is a bit of a bummer, but that's okay. So that's basically, I'm on that limit now. So what I want to do here is I want to press the square button, which will be to create it. I can give it a name like Camp 1, and then I can erect that whole thing if I decide to move the camp. Now I picked a great location where I don't have to move camps, but sometimes you might need to, especially in the early stages. So if you've got even just a ground level base, which is easy to make and easy to place, then that's all good. Then you can just kind of pop it up anywhere and need it for what you need to do. You can also use blueprinting for, let's say, all the water structures that you set up for purifying, so you don't always have to keep replacing them if you move the camp. So there, I'm going to create another blueprint. I'm just going to call it water. Boom, and then that's it, done. So next time if I quickly want to move the camp, I can just put the blueprints where they want to go, and that's done in the blueprints here, as you can see on the screen. Alrighty, another huge tip to help you in Fallout. So you might come across the area where enemies might be a little bit higher than what your level is, and you're really finding it difficult. So what you can do is you can just kind of hammer away at them, and then if you end up dying, then they will have their health remain what it is, so you can just go back to that area and try and finish them off. Now there have been some areas where I've had to do it multiple times to kind of get through. Now that's fine, because you don't end up losing caps or anything like that when you die. You only spend caps if you are transporting yourself to a different area that's kind of away from the original area. But as you can see there, I'm just going to respawn in the location, and then I'm going to have another crack at these frogs, which are a little bit high level, a little bit annoying, but I think I've done that 3 or 4 times, and I ended up being able to clear them out. So as you can see on the screen, they still had their health, and that's just the way of getting through a level if you kind of get stuck, if you have no ammo or whatnot. Now next tip is you're going to have these different workstations throughout the map where you can kind of claim it from this device here, claim workshop. First of all, if you need to repair it, you need to repair it, but then what you're going to do is you can then once you've claimed it, put it, anything you want to. You can go across, you can put defenses, you can put generators, but what you want to do is you want to go to on the screen, you'll see here in a second, you want to put resources. So different camps have different resources, so you can check what sort of resources they are by hovering over it. But over here, well, what we're going to do is we're going to place, you can see it is green on the screen, so that's where it's meant to go. So you need to place it there, and then you need to obviously put a generator to power that up as well. Now it could be any sort of resources. It could be mining gold, you could be mining wood, concrete, anything, like different sort of like screws, anything, whatever it says on the screen, and whatever resource builder that you can build, then you know that's what you build. Sometimes different camps have different machines for different materials and whatnot, but as I said, just check on the screen what resources you're after and then go after that camp. Now I recommend doing this at the very start of your playthrough, because when you visit the place you actually need to manually collect it. It doesn't automatically get placed into your inventory. So if you do this at the start, you claim a workshop, you find what materials you're after, then all you need to do is at the very start of your playthrough set it all up, go play, and then when you're towards the end of your session where you've had enough, go back to the workshop and collect everything up. And that's a good way for you to get resources. Just make sure you put a good couple of turrets around if you want to defend it, because you will get incoming attacks on that workshop, and it can also be claimed by other players. Now if the other player is highly more like level than what you are, you might have a difficult time taking them out, and then they might claim it for their own. This has only happened to me once, so it hasn't been too bad. I've done it to someone else, but that was only once because I needed a fusion core one, so it's actually not too bad. So next thing you need to be aware about is you can pick up diseases while playing through Fallout, and that can be done through either too much rotten food or drink, or if you're drinking too much alcohol or anything like that, then you can be diseased. Now you can check that out in the stat area, but one thing to kind of take it away is a thing called disease cure, which I've just taken, and that's gonna, for instance, recover me from bloodworms. And you know, you can get addicted to alcohol if you drink too much or that sort of thing, but then again there are certain stuff like that day tripper which have different abilities if you take it, so it's a good opportunity to add like skills, so 3 perception or 3 strength or 2 strength or whatever, so just definitely check through that aid area, and different items can provide different stuff for your character, which is beneficial later down the track. Another tip is you can access your Stimpaks and Radaway off the Pip-Boy screen, so press X for Stimpak or square for Radaway. So it's just a quick, easier tool. You can also click the right button, and that will self-medicate you for a Stimpak also. While playing through on Fallout, you'll find that you'll come across a lot of enemies which are higher level than what you are. So at the moment I think I'm about level, I don't know, maybe 20, and I've come across a level 46 enemy. Now your weapons can still be effective, it will just take a little bit longer, but this is to do with a quest, or a part of a quest, so I just went ahead and tried to take it on. I did die a couple of times, but that's just the risk you take, and I just kind of chipped away at it. But if you can avoid the high level enemies and you just need to click something, definitely click that right analog stick so you can sneak around them and try and collect whatever you need to do, because it is a little bit annoying when the high level enemies start coming after you, and you just get sick of dying. So definitely, if you can, scope out an area. If the enemies are way too high of a level, just leave them alone. Don't even try, because it starts getting annoying. Start using your ammo, all your like stem kits and all that sort of stuff, and it makes the game harder. So if you can avoid them, do. Another great thing I can portray onto you for tips and tricks is loot everything you can. So obviously you need materials to build stuff, to craft stuff in the game, to get you where you need to go. So definitely, if you can, take as much stuff as you can. And you can see a yellow microscope on some of the items. Now you can tag different materials that you need for crafting stuff. So you can tag that, and then you can find it out in the world, and then if it has a microscope, then do so. As you can see here, I am breaking using my bobby pins, getting into one of the ammo crates there. Definitely I would say if you're going for the platinum for 50 lockpicks, then every lockpick that you see, attempt it, because I've just finally got the trophy and I'm not even a quarter of the way through. So if you start doing it early, then it prevents that less grind later down the track. And that's the same with hacking terminals as well. So definitely look to hack 50 terminals and unlock 50 locks. So if you do that earlier, as I said, it will make it a lot easier later down the track. And looting everything definitely will help. Just manage your weight level in terms of how much you can carry, because that will affect you from fast traveling, but we'll talk about that very soon. So when you die in Fallout, you will drop all your junk, so it's a good thing that there's an indicator which shows you your drop loot. So all you need to do is go to it, as you can see on the screen, and take it. Now pressing triangle will take it one by one, but if you press square and then square again and then X, it will take it all for you. And doing it that way is much better in terms of time. You'll just be able to bang it out straight away. So in the game, a big huge tip is look at fast traveling everywhere where you need to go. So you can see by the blue icons that are showing up that you can fast travel there. Now it does take caps for you to do so, but however it's worth it. You do have enough caps to kind of get through, and I'll show you later down the track. There is a perk where you can get 30% off, like spending your tokens when fast traveling, which will save you a significant amount of tokens later down the track. Now if you're going to go back to your camp, you can fast travel there for free. So you can see there, no caps to fast travel back to your camp or to the vault. So it's a perfect way to kind of, if you're on one side of the map, fast travel to your camp first and then fast travel to the other place. It will save you caps. It's a good little trick to kind of get you where you need to go. Now when you're over encumbered, meaning that you have too much weight, you cannot fast travel, which is a little bit annoying, because if you want to go places and you've got too much stuff, as you can see on the screen, you can't fast travel. So I guess the ways to kind of get around this is, if you're too heavy, you can either look to drop items. So drop all the items that you don't kind of use or need or are insignificant. So like mines, if you don't use mines too much, or if you've got 2 shotguns or anything like that. If you're only a couple of like points off from the weight, so as you can see I'm 209 at the moment, I need to get under 205 to fast travel. Then I just simply dropped 1 or 2 things in my inventory, and that kind of freed me up a little bit. You can also use like your food and drinks to kind of reduce the weight as well. So if you're hungry and thirsty and you're, let's say, 2 points or 2, let's say, kgs over your limit, then you can just use like let's say the whiskey there, and it kind of saved me 1 point. You can use the food if you're hungry, which will reduce the weight. Now sometimes if you've got some important loot and you're heavy, then the best chance is for you just to run or walk or whatever it does back to your camp, so you can keep all the items that you wanted. So I've done this a couple of times where I've had some like high level loot which I didn't want to drop, and I couldn't find space to drop, so I just walked back to my camp to unload it all. Now another, I guess, good tip to kind of manage the amount of weight is you can deploy your power armor suit, which can help you with the weight, or you can have the backpack as you can see on the screen, which can increase your weight as well. Definitely doing this will definitely help you. So if you get in the suit and you're good to go in terms of your weight, you can then fast travel, so definitely utilize your suit in that way. Now if you collect your suit, it will only be 10, that's how much your suit will weigh. However, the different components, if they weren't in the suit, may weigh 14 each. However, when they're all piled onto a suit, then those weigh 0 and your suit still ends up being 10, which is good. There are also a lot of weightless perks that you can get, and they are mainly in the strength area. If you're getting perks, so sturdy frame, pack rat, traveling pharmacy, strong back, all those increase your weight or carry weight, or decrease the items that weigh that much as well. So definitely a good tool to use. Another important thing in Fallout is food and drink. So definitely, if you can, harvest as much food as you can through the crops that you can either grow or you can find out there in the big open world. But definitely keep up that eating habit and drinking habit. That will prevent diseases. It will help with your strength, and yeah, will kind of keep away all those bad things that can happen to your character. So they like to be well fed, so definitely keep them well fed. Now while eating, don't eat too much spoiled meat or spoiled veggies, because that will lead to you getting a disease. Also, don't drink dirty water. You can go to the fire pit and boil it up, so you can get boiled water, or you can have the purified water, which you'll get if you set up the purified water stations at your camp, which automatically go into your inventory anyway. So it's a good little trick trying to keep your character healthy. Now you can get packs at certain different levels, so you basically get 4 free perks for free. They're all random. However, if you get some certain perks that you like, you can, once you level up, then you can apply them. So as you can see here, we're pressing triangle and leveling up one. So I'm just going to, what I like to do is I like to go through each one, and if there is a new one, as you can see on the screen, just like to have a quick look at it, and if it's not for me, then I'll move on to the next one. So it's very important picking what perks fits your character, or what perks you like. So for me, I mainly go for carrying more weight, so I've gone for more of the strength or the intelligent ones, but I like to keep checking the other sections just in case, because you know, always got to know what type of new ones, because I don't want to miss any big ones. So here's another one here which I do quite a lot, the intelligence. So I'll show you a little bit later, but I'm just going through the ability now, and there's nothing really I really want, and that's the same with the luck. Again, for me, I've gone more for the strength and the intelligence one, because I think I'm going for the platinum. So I want to be able to carry more weight, and I want to be able to lockpick and access terminals and stuff like that, because I'm going towards that trophy. Alrighty, let's go through some of the perks which I think are pretty important, and it's just, I guess, the way it pertains to my sort of playing style. So across the left, I've got 13 points which I've spent on strength so far. So that's I've upgraded strong back 4 times, so I can gain 40 plus to carry weight. Now I think that's a very important one, to give your inventory more access to further stuff that you can pick up in the world, and that's also the same with the level 3 travelling pharmacy, obviously reducing all chems and stimpaks, and that's pretty much reducing the weight of it by 90%, which is also a key one. I've just got this one here where armor weighs 50% less than normal, so you can only get 2 for that. Pack rat, which the weight of all junk and items is reduced by 75%, and sprinting in power armor consumes half as much fusion core. So all those are pretty important, because I think the two main issues I have in the game is having too much weight, so I can't fast travel, and it like drains up a lot of my action points by running, and while using power armor, it pretty much drains the fusion core when sprinting, which is a little bit annoying. So obviously this one here is pretty good, the full charge. Now going across to perception, the pick lock is very important because I'm trying to get the trophy, which I have gotten already by picking pick locking 50 like boxes or safes or whatnot. What else have we got here? So we've got the expert pick lock, and then just some random ones. I don't think they really matter. So if you're going for the trophy, definitely get the pick locking ones. This one I just got randomly. I always travel as a lone wanderer, so that's why I've got this one. Now I'm going to upgrade it again so I can get it to the last stage. This one's another very important one, so you pay 30% of fuel caps when fast traveling. Obviously we fast travel quite a lot, so this card here is very key. Now the second highest points that I've spent is in intelligence, so first aid restores more, so that's still got one more to upgrade, and that's the same with Radaway. So obviously these are important things to heal yourself and get rid of the radiation. So I'm definitely going to be popping these. The hacker, so again this is another one where I'm trying to get the trophy, so this will be 450 hack locking 50, and that's another one for the expert one, so you need a hack 50 terminals. And then a gunsmith one. Always had a problem with getting good guns, so I've just invested a little bit in being able to craft some good stuff. Going across to the agility, action buoy is pretty important when regenerating your action points. So obviously when you're sprinting, so it does 30% faster, so this has one more to be upgraded. Food and drink weights are reduced by 30, again another important one for reducing the amount of weight you carry. Your pistols weigh 25 less, so again kind of marries up with the strength, so your ability to carry a little bit more, and that's especially important when you're traveling such a huge world and picking up quite a lot. So 40% extra ammo, this needs to be upgraded another 2 times I think, because I've always had a problem with getting ammo, and I run out quite a lot, as you will hear about very soon. 40% chance of getting extra canned goods. Again, eating is important, and it also boosts your health, so another important one. And then this is another important one right here, the wood chucker. So collect twice as much when you harvest wood. This is extremely important for crafting, so when you're running around picking up all the wood from like dead trees and that, this gives you a high chance of being able to harvest twice as much, which is excellent when you're creating stuff or cooking on the cooking workshop, where you want to boil water, the dirty water, to make it good, stuff like that. So also building materials, building your huts if you're doing huge camps, and this is definitely a go-getter early on. So some of these will just pop up randomly when you level up, and you'll need to unlock them. But yeah, these are my perks I reckon have worked well for me and have kind of tackled my issues so far. Now, a big thing with Fallout is I run out of ammo so quickly. It's a little bit annoying, so make sure you have a sword or a melee weapon that you can use, because sometimes when you got no ammo, you're down to this one gun here because my melee weapon broke, and it's a little bit annoying when you're trudging around trying to take down as many enemies as possible. So conserve the ammo, and yeah, look to definitely use those melee weapons where possible. Now another big tip is you can see on the right there that we have quite a lot of missions that are tagged on the right screen, so you can see that it takes up a lot of the screen there. What you can do is you can untag them or make them not active through the map one by one, or you can go into your Pip-Boy, go across the data. As you can see there, we've got the main missions, we've got 4 of them. You can just untag them all, or untag the ones you aren't doing, untag all the side missions that are a little bit annoying, all the daily activities. So if you're trying to just do the main story stuff, then they will be the only ones that appear on the right side of the screen. If you just want to have one up there, then go hard, have one. It does take up quite a lot of the screen, so it's a little bit annoying when you're trying to scan the environment or shoot enemies, or just really if you're just roaming around. But you know, it's good to see what missions you have, so I only try and keep about 4 or 5 posted up at a time, and then when I need to, I can make them active whenever I want. Now another huge thing is power armor in the game. I know that everyone that plays Fallout 76 want to grab their hands on it. You can find like exoskeleton suits that you can see there, the power armor suits without armor on it. You can find them around and you can jump on them straight away. However, you do need to find parts for them. You will find out different locations around the map that there will be scattered suits around that you can get certain areas. Now if they're too high of a level, pick them up anyway and go store them at your camp for later use. On the map there, I'll show you the area where I found one of them there. Usually they're attached on the yellow frames, which you will see on the map real soon. Here's another location here where I found another one with some parts attached already, again on that yellow frame. So I'll show you the location on the map there. Now what is it called? Ammo dump. There we go. So just had to take out a couple of turrets in my way. It was a good little spot to get caps and different items too, but I won't be able to jump in this one because the 3 armor that are on there are too high of a level. So what I'll do is I'll transfer all of it, and then I'll be able to jump into the exo suit while having a fusion core. So you definitely need a fusion core to jam in there, as you can see, and then the suit will be good to go, the power armor. When you go searching for stuff, you'll definitely find some current level attachments out there, or there's a mission where you have to craft all the different areas anyway, so you'll eventually get it. However, you need to be 25 and definitely save up on those materials. Another tip is when doing missions, if you can fast travel to an area, try and capture some of them all in the right area. So as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 in that one kind of big circle area. So we can definitely fast travel to one area and kind of do them all at the same time. Now doing that will save us caps from fast traveling everywhere from one side of the map to the other, or you know, and it makes you want to roam around too, because when you roam in the big wide world, you'll be able to pick up a lot more stuff than if you keep fast traveling. Alrighty, so that's it for the tips and tricks for Fallout 76. Hopefully you've got quite a lot of information there, which I wish I knew before I played. It would definitely help me on the right track to getting where I need to be in the Fallout 76 venture. But definitely I hope you have a good time, you enjoy it. It's a huge game, it's very big and open, and you know, it's something which, you know, if I had a little bit more knowledge on in terms of knowing certain little things, I think it would have made just a little bit easier. So hopefully you found that this tips and tricks guide helps you understand just certain aspects of the game and makes it a little bit easier for you. That's a value that we want to capture and provide to you. That's what the channel's about. So if you like this video, if you've got some value from it, definitely hit that like button. Subscribe to the Knightsman channel, because that's what we're here to do, is help you and provide you value. Hit the bell notification, because because that will let you know when we release more videos. And definitely comment down below if you found this useful, or if you want to see different other guides out there or whatnot. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. Thank you for sticking all the way through. Stay safe in this big wide world, and that is Knightsman out. Cha-ching.